Here we go, cuckoo with the white pieces. E4. Well, let's play Scandinavian. He takes. It's the normal move. And he defends it. Okay, so let's undermine with C6. This leads to an interesting gambit. Or he can just give the pawn back right away by playing D4, but he doesn't do that. He goes for the gambit. Okay. So the idea here is you actually have pretty good control over these dark squares. He can't play D4, and you can play E5 here and keep him from playing D4. And then you can bring your bishop out to C5 and have pretty nice ready-made attack here. And also pressure against the backwards D pawn, which he eventually has to move because he needs to get his bishop into the game. But he's delaying that, so let's see. What is he thinking? He could pop his knight into the D5 square, but I would just take it. Let's keep him from playing knight to B5. If he goes knight to A4, I'll drop my bishop back, keep it on this diagonal. And it's interesting. So how about knight to D4? He takes, I take, and I get my bishop on this diagonal as well. He can play bishop to B2. It looks like that's how he's planning to develop in any case. Maybe another plan is to actually push this pawn forward, push this knight away. Where is that knight going? Since he never played D3, which is a normal move in this position. The knight could go here. So let's first play H6, and then we're going to play E4. Kick that knight. I didn't want the knight coming to G5, and he would have two pieces attacking. Okay, so I did finally provoke that D3 move, so he noticed. He noticed the threat. Okay, so now I can pile up on that D pawn. And he can challenge my bishop. So how about knight to E4 right now? He can't actually take it with the knight because I'll take back with a pawn and fork his two pieces. If he takes with the bishop, then I can take back with either the knight or with either the pawn or the bishop. And if I trade off this bishop here on E2, then the D pawn is under defended. And I did leave that hanging. Yep. Okay, so what to do here? Well, I can take this bishop off with check. Then I need to chase this knight away somehow. How am I going to do that? If I bring my queen up to hit the knight, oh, just the rook over, I guess. So take here, he takes back, and then rook here. Maybe rook here first. Where is that knight going next? Yep, well, we'll see. If he takes my knight, my bishop takes, and it's it's forking the two knights and also pinning this knight against the rook. So can't take here just yet. This knight is hanging. You could play f4 maybe. Then I might take here, then take the bishop with check. Yeah, so f4 would be a bad idea. Well, it's not the end of the world, is it? Let's say I take here, he takes with the queen, then I take here with check, he takes with the queen again. Maybe I can get a pin against this guy. Yeah, so it looks like he was calculating that. If he takes with the knight, then I can take the bishop. So he has to take with the queen. And I can trade and bring the queen in here, grab this pawn. I still can't grab that pawn. He's got the knight on it. Yeah, I really need to get rid of that knight. Well, after the trades, I can play knight to I can play knight to g4, hitting his pinned knight and hitting the queen. Like so. This should get back a little material. Although I am 2 pawns down at this point. I didn't mean to give away my e-pawn. It was kind of the linchpin of my position, so a little unfortunate that that I had to do that, or that I did that. But the game is not over yet. Yeah, so he moves the queen. So let's take here. And then take here. Queen or bishop. If I take with the bishop, he'll pin it. So let's take with the queen. And then his pawn on e5 here is going to be loose at the end. Okay, so let's me get this check in. Then I can play rook takes pawn. Get all my pawns back. And his knight is kind of pinned because that rook is loose in the corner. So anyway, although this was not the most convincing way to refute White's opening play, we can look at it in the postmortem and see how I should have played. I'm wondering about rook to d8 here. That might be a bit of a problem. Rook d1. I was thinking I could come over here and line up with my queen and my rook, but I can't. I didn't play that. Yeah, I would have had to drop my queen back over here or something. See, my rook is under attack. My bishop is under attack. Well, to start with, I have to move the bishop back. Defend f7. And then double rooks so that my queen isn't tied to the defense of the rook there. Let's not move that piece. Okay, so he's bringing his knight in. That's a good move. Knight can go here, here, here. I mean, it looks like a good idea to bring the knight in. Still, the check here, I can take it. The check here, I can take it. Come up this way. Let's double rooks. Now he can't play rook to d1 anymore. The knight was defending the d1 square. That enabled rook d1 here. The knight is just out in the middle of the board, but not doing a whole lot. Could have considered rook to g5 here, hitting the queen, but the queen could have maybe come in here. Queen c7 might be annoying. A bit annoying. Now, why is this working? It's working because he has a check at the end with his knight. But isn't he giving up too much? Well, in the first place, oh no, I can't take with the king. I have to take with the bishop. So let's take it. And let's see what his big idea is here. I mean, he can win the exchange, right? But he gave up a rook to win the exchange, so surely that is not a good idea. He's got the check on h7. I was thinking my king would just actually run out to e7. But is that really a good square for it? After king e7, the queen can come in here. But my only choice would be to go back. Let's go back. I don't want his queen coming in and taking g2, and I don't have to repeat here. I can go, instead of going to f8, I could go to h8 if he comes back here to check me here, because I want to win this. I don't want to just go for the draw with the repetition. But now he gets the bishop. Oh no, I can take with the bishop. Okay, just got to play this right. Knight takes rook, bishop takes knight, and I'm a piece up for a pawn. His pieces are a bit tied up to the back rank. His knight is hanging at the moment. He has no more checks with the knight. No checks with the queen. Goes back there. Okay, so since the knight doesn't have any checks, let's pin it. We'll pin the knight. He can take the bishop. He can't take the bishop, actually, because of the threats to the back rank anyway. Okay, let's see what he's got next. This guy's pretty creative, I have to admit. But yeah, his tactic did not work. Should not have worked anyway. We'll see if I have yet to refute it. Well, it looks like I've refuted it, but I might have missed something too. Yeah, queen c7 here, for example. Queen c7 is interesting. Hits the bishop, leaves his knight hanging. But I could take his knight with my queen and threaten mate, so he doesn't have time to take my bishop. So I guess queen c7 doesn't work. What else has he got? Also, rook takes bishop, just the check on d1. So he just defends the knight. Okay, so now I'm just going to pile up on the knight. That's kind of the move I was expecting. Get my bishop out of trouble. And his knight is still pinned. And I'll pick up a pawn here, and I'll just be a piece up. And his king side will be a little bit weaker as well. Yeah, since he didn't take the exchange back, I'm a whole rook up, not just a piece up. So he's got these clever ideas, but let's go ahead and check. And take the knight. And, well, let's see, what's the best way to do this? Probably getting a rook to the back rank is a good idea. threaten mate. But I didn't want to abandon my own back rank. I might as well use my extra piece to keep my king position defended. So rook e1 to h1 is mate. Okay, let's see, what's next? Queen there. Okay, so threat here. Not yet. Okay, so rook e1 to h1. The king, he gave the king an escape square at g3, but he will lose the queen. Ah, he plays like that. He gets out of there now. So rook h1 anyway. The queen moves, and then queen to e1 to deliver the check. First of all, where's the queen going? Queen actually has no squares, does it? So that should be good enough. So the king went there. So let's threaten rook to e3. Let's play rook e3. Let's take. Okay, so is he going to play this all the way out? I'll just mop up the pawns now. There's no immediate mate here. Well, maybe there is, but the queen needs a helper to mate. So let's just take all the pawns and then mate him with the king or something. So he's going for a stalemate idea, maybe. So it's quicker to queen this pawn and mate that way than it is to bring my king over. So anyway, that was an interesting game, and I will check out that opening play and see how I should have played that in the postmortem. See you guys later. Bye.